day everyone, today we are going to present the impact of US-China trade war on Huawei global business strategy. Okay, they are my group member. I'm Wanmi.
I'm Gofu.
I'm Roi.
I'm Wanting.
Huawei is a multinational supplier of information and communication technology, ICT infrastructure and consumer electronics. Huawei was founded by Ren Zhengfei in 1987 and headquartered in Shenzhen, Guangdong. The vision of Huawei is to build a fully connected and intelligent world, the vision is to bring the digital to people, organization and home. And the Huawei operates in more than 170 countries and has over 190,000 employees. Huawei also has 36 joint innovative centers and 14 R&D institutes. For the SWOT analysis, SWOT analysis is used to determine the strength, weakness, opportunity and threat for the Huawei company. For the strength, the first one is business ranking. Huawei has become the leader in the global mobile network equipment market. The other strength is technical strength. Huawei has been invested in R&D not less than 10% of revenue. Huawei also is a leader for 5G development. The last one is Huawei has the low labor cost. In Huawei is one of the competitive advantages. This is due to the labor cost for the engineer is much more lower than the labor cost for the engineer in other countries. For the weaknesses, the first one is the historical influence. People do not trust the ability of Chinese due to the historical reasons, hence they prefer to buy the other brand's product compared to the Huawei product. For the second one, Huawei product is cheaper compared to the other brand's product, so people will doubt the quality of the Huawei product. Huawei also lack of capital. Huawei's funding is weak due to Huawei is not a listed company, so it's hard for Huawei to expand the business to the international level. Most of the revenue are used to invest in China and Asia Pacific area, hence the company is hard to expand the business to the international market. For the opportunity, Huawei has the opportunity to partner with international company. This for technological solution. This help Huawei gains good reputation from this partnership, and more people will know about Huawei. The second one is increasing demand in smartphone. There are more than 200 million of smartphones is sold by the end of October 2019. For the last opportunity is development of 5G network. Huawei has launched the first Balong 5000 chipset for the development of 5G network. For the trade, Huawei face a lot of challenges. The first one is hard trading environment. The trade policies of all countries protect the local industry and brands. The import tariff in China is decreased cause many foreign manufacturers transfer business in China. This will increase the competitor in the market. The next one is the competitor. The strong competitors such as Xiaomi and Lenovo produce the product with high quality and cheaper prices. So Huawei have to improve the product. For example, to produce more creative and innovative product in order to compete with the rival. The last one is there are many competitors provide better product in the telecommunication service industry.
So now I'm going to present the pastel analysis of Huawei. So the first one is about political analysis. As we know, Huawei is losing its licensing agreement with Google due to the White House issue of US, such as Google from doing business with the Chinese telecommunication firm. So the second one is US President Trump treat Huawei CFO Meng Wanfei as a bargaining chip with China. China has now threatened severe consequences if the Huawei executive is not released. The third one is UK governments decide to delay the decisions on whether to ban the controversial Chinese equipment vendor has bring impact to Huawei for their future participations in the UK 5G market. So the next one will be the economical analysis. Huawei total economic impact in terms of its contribution to European GDP for the Europe market. Huawei has solved the unemployment issue in Europe and the tax revenue it generated from Huawei to Europe. So Huawei has solved the employment issue by providing the job opportunity to Europe, and Huawei also increased the GDP of Europe. So for the third one will be the social analysis of Huawei. The social trend that poses a threat to Huawei is the consumer in Europe market holding the belief that Huawei is a security concern due to its origins with tied to the Chinese military network. Huawei faced the issue of the social media cultural trend in Western countries to compare the Android phone user with the iPhone phone user. Okay, there is the cultural belief that Android is always for the poorer people, while the Huawei people is using the Android phone, so that the consumer will think that I don't want to be the poorer range of the people. So this will affect the Huawei business due to the narrow mindset of the people. So for the technological analysis, Huawei always brand themselves as an innovator as they invest a lot amount of money in the research and development for the new technology. Huawei launched its 5G roadshow throughout the UK, showcasing their new 5G technology, which is currently a global leader in the world since investment began in the 2009. So Huawei has improved their R&D research ability through substantial R&D expenditure, and it's gradually increased its proportions of the traditional R&D corporation patent. So for the legal analysis, Huawei in the Europe must comply the legal laws such as Patent Act, tax rate, labor law, and environmental law. So that in Europe, they have set the minimum wages law for the employee. So Huawei must be especially careful with the area of the patent law, ensuring it doesn't infringe on other rights while protecting its own brand. So for the last one will be the European lawmaker. European lawmakers so the highlight recent allegation that 5G equipment may have backdoor would allow Chinese manufacturers and authorities have unauthorized access to private and personal data and telecommunications in the Europe. So the last one will be environmental analysis. The environmental issue in Europe has environmental policy that must be adhered by the company to conserving the environments of the Europe. Waste from the company are always reused and to cut on the possible wastage of Huawei and to maximize available material. Huawei wants to be the leading distributor of green energy product in the world. And the last one is Huawei is trying to come up with the effective way to minimize the emissions of carbon substance of their product. So the next one will be the strategy of Huawei to solve the issue in securing the information and communication technology and service supply chain for the White House issue. This will due to the Chinese telecom company Huawei has been banned from the accessing part of Google Android mobile operating system after the US government placed the company on a trade blacklist. So this is a strategic response of Huawei. Huawei is developing its own mobile operating system to run on its smartphone. Huawei homegrown mobile operating system is reporting as a project Jack internally. The next one will be the strategy response from Huawei will be responding to the customer satisfaction to to innovate more advanced technology products to make their customers satisfied with their service and make their company stronger and more famous in the market. So the last one of the Huawei's operation strategy will be shift from the cost efficiency to encompass innovations and quality of their product. So I will pass the slide to Boku. To Rohi.
So strategic goal is a very important goal for Huawei to achieve their ultimate goal. So for the short-term goal, Huawei is suggested to have a good management on the resource allocation in order to seize the right opportunity. So with a clear strategic goal, Huawei are able to concentrate their efforts on building advantageous position in their core business. So therefore, Huawei should fully utilize their limited resources on their strategic goal that align with the market trend in order to create more value for the stakeholder. So for the second point is that Huawei is suggested to develop the recession-proof hiring strategy in order to be flexible due to the warning sign of the economic recession. Huawei currently has most of the employees of Huawei are actually are permanent and fixed-term employment. So it is suggested that Huawei should diversify their employment into both permanent employment and contract-based employment in order to be flexible and grab valuable opportunities from hiring contract-based employment. So for the long-term goals, Huawei is suggested to focus on R&D research to produce innovative products with the objective that align with the latest trend. Currently, AI technology has reached a new era and developing tremendously, but still a milestone in the smartphone market. So Huawei should seize the opportunity by developing their product innovatively regarding AI technology, which they can actually invest more on technological machinery and recruit more talented people for the R&D department. Besides, Huawei also suggested to adopt transformational leadership in long term. So even though it is challenging to change culture in the company, but it is still worth for Huawei to do that in order to make the employee work toward the same goal. So unlike the current leadership style, the employee are given leader or no super direction, especially for R&D department. It is true that current leadership style can actually provide enough innovation and freedom for them to be innovative, but it is actually lead to distraction of resources and make the process inefficiency. So therefore, transformational leadership is suggested to adopt as it enable the employee to generate innovative ideas within the focus area that's set by the leaders. So meantime, they are still utilizing their resources to grab greater value and opportunity. So Huawei are involving in both telecommunication equipment industry and consumer electronic industry. So we will be using quarter 5 analysis to analyze both of the industry. So for threat of new entrants, both industry having low threat of new entrants. This is because in telecommunication equipment industry, the capital requirement to enter this industry is high, which the contender must have sufficient financial resource to absorb the cost of expanding network and service that will become outdated rapidly because the transmission system has to be changed 2 years once. So the second reason is because the restriction of government policy. The contender are required to fulfill certain criteria in order to attain the license of operating. And for the consumer electronic industry, the major players such as Huawei, Samsung, Apple already taken the majority of the market share due to brand reputation. Therefore, the availability of market share to the contender are less, which increase the barrier for them to compete with the existing competitor. And besides, the contender have to invest heavily on the product development when there is no income generated. So the contender actually exposed to the financial risk and risk of producing the wrong product, and this will be treated as losses incurred in the product if there is low acceptance from the customer. Therefore, Huawei is in the advantage when the threat of new entrant is low. And for the bargaining power of supplier, both industry has low bargaining power of supplier because for telecommunication equipment industry, their supplier are offering standardized raw material which we can easily find it, so lead to the low switching cost. And besides, Huawei is holding the biggest market share in this industry and thus have more control over the market. So Huawei will be the main income stream of the supplier in telecommunication equipment industry. However, for the consumer electronic industry, power of supplier is also low because Huawei only purchase the fundamental components and chips, which is less differentiated. Then they will manufacture the high-end product themselves. So besides, since Huawei is producing in large capacity, thus the supplier profit are closely tied to this Huawei. In addition, suppliers do not provide a credible threat for forward integration. So all of these factors actually lead to low bargaining power of supplier. And for the bargaining power of buyer, telecommunication industry is low. However, for the consumer electronic industry is high. This is because in telecommunication equipment industry, Huawei produce products such as wireless and landline infrastructure equipment, digital subscriber line which are unique and has high switching costs. Therefore, the customer has low bargaining power. Besides, the industry is highly technology driven due to the shortened lifespan of telecom products. Therefore, Huawei will innovate the product based on the latest trend to make their product differentiated and gain the reputation which the consumer are unlikely to shift the brand. So, however, for the consumer electronic industry, the buyer has high bargaining power due to high availability of the consumer electronic product offered by different brands. So besides, there are free flow of information also enable the buyer to compare the product regarding the price and feature easily. So with the informative consumer and high availability of product, it leads to high bargaining power of consumer in consumer electronic industry. And next would be the threat of substitute product. Both industry has low threat of substitute product. So for telecommunication equipment industry, the substitute products such as VoIP offer free and cheap call locally to and worldwide. However, according to the country telecommunication law, unlicensed provision of international phone are illegal and are punishable. So this has reduced the interest of consumer. And besides, the other substitute are 3 satellite dishes which are very expensive. Therefore, the consumer are more likely to choose Huawei product as it is more convenient. And in the consumer electronic industry, the threat of substitute product is even low due to few substitute available. For example, the two-way radio, telephones, and satellite phone, which are less preferable and inconvenient for consumer. Because people nowadays are highly rely on the electronic product such as smartphone and tablet, therefore the threat of substitute product is very low. And lastly would be the rivalry among the existing competitor. Both industry has high, the competitor is actually competing intensively, and for in the telecommunication equipment industry, there is high concentration of competitors such as Nokia, Ericsson, Samsung, Cisco, ZTE, Sina, where this top 7 telecommunication equipment industry has accounted for 80% of the worldwide market revenue in this industry. So besides, the financial strength is an important factor for Huawei to be competitive from its competitor. Many of the competitors setting up joint venture to create synergy and get more resources, which cause the competition more intensively. And in consumer electronic industry, there are many competitors offering similar product with similar price range from Huawei, which make the competition more intense. Besides, Huawei also trying to focus on product differentiation by offering high-end product. However, Huawei is a bit struggle to do that to attract the consumer from their major competitor Apple, which already have strong brand reputation. Therefore, the competition among the existing competitor is quite high. So since the majority threat is low in both industry, Huawei should focus on R&D department to generate innovative and quality product in order to be competitive.
Okay, next I will talk about the competitive advantage of Huawei. Huawei has applied low-cost cost leadership strategy to create competitive advantage in order to gain market position. Huawei low-cost strategy is not come from the low-cost manufacturing but from the low-cost engineering. Huawei picked up low-cost basic technology by reversing engineering foreign product and using that as the foundation to develop more complex technology. Besides, general salary for Huawei R&D center and production house in China is low, and therefore Huawei can hire a large number of R&D employees to develop their technology quickly at a lower cost. This core competency is costly and difficult to be adopted by Huawei competitor due to higher cost for R&D employee in Western countries. With the combination of low-cost development and advanced research, Huawei is able to deliver their customized and innovative product with lower cost to customers. Other than cost leadership strategy, Huawei also focus on differentiation strategy. Huawei follow closely on the global cutting-edge technology and insists on self-innovative development. R&D is the major focus of Huawei, and they have a high ratio of R&D staff to other employees. Huawei spends more than 10% of its total sales revenue every year on R&D for focus on product differentiation. As of today, Huawei hosts over 55,000 of active patents on the telecommunication, networking, and high-tech invention worldwide. In terms of speed, Huawei integrates its marketing employee into the R&D team so that the customer requirement can be quickly fed back to the R&D headquarters. Besides, Huawei is also the first company in the world that can offer 5G end-to-end product and solution. Okay, next is the challenges of Huawei. The first challenges is the security concern of Huawei 5G product. U.S. House Intelligence Committee advised the U.S. government and company to avoid doing business with Huawei and claimed that Huawei raised significant security concerns. Google complied with an executive order from Donald Trump and suspended Huawei access to update of its Android operating system. Besides, cybersecurity concern has prevented Huawei from supplying telecommunication product to Australia. This concern will definitely cause the uncertainty of Huawei future in the 5G network infrastructure development. The next challenge is the controversial R&D process of Huawei. There have been accusations that Huawei used improper technology acquisition to accelerate their product development. For example, Cisco and Motorola have sued Huawei over the theft of intellectual properties. Although the case was settled out of the court, Huawei had to withdraw the product from the market, and this caused negative impact on Huawei brand image. These concerns have plagued Huawei and did not help when Huawei seek to increase the market penetration in Western countries. The last challenge for Huawei is the controversial pricing strategy. Huawei applied low price strategy in consumer smartphone market in order to gain market position. Huawei pricing strategy has fanned price war and thin profit margin for all smartphone companies. With the market saturation, smartphones are likely to commoditize like personal computers, and margins are likely to contract in the long term. This will cause difficulty for Huawei to catch up with the market leaders such as Apple and Samsung in terms of profitability. The last section I will cover is about the strategic recommendation for Huawei in IR 4.0. The leader in the smartphone industry have long dealt with VUCA, which is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. The rapid change of technology today is transforming the global business landscape, causing the existing business strategy and personal experience may no longer match the new challenges. Thus, in VUCA world, Huawei should be able to anticipate their future and acquire new strategy to deal with the challenges in IR 4.0. First, Huawei management need to focus on technology adoption and diffusion. Huawei should identify the new emerging technology ahead of each competitor and then to learn faster and compete strategically in the market. For example, since Huawei has a good resource in R&D, this would be a great advantage for Huawei to adopt new technology to further enhance their 5G technology. Next, Huawei should invest strategically in workforce training approach that aligns with IR 4.0. The transformation to IR 4.0 will bring new challenges for employees as they require to be trained for new skill sets. Thus, Huawei management should take early steps to identify the skill sets that the company is currently lacks and provide necessary trainings. And furthermore, Huawei should look forward to continue to recruit new hires that are multi-skilled and flexible enough to adopt new technology in preparation for IR 4.0. Lastly, Huawei management should also emphasize on the blue ocean strategy to identify what its customer needs in the IR 4.0 era in order to capture the new demand opportunity ahead of its competitor. In conclusion, with the above analysis, Huawei should be able to solve their issue, seek for new business opportunity, and continue to amaze the world with their technology. Thanks.